And even if you love that person, you need to have boundaries. You need to have boundaries when it's all said and done. You need to have boundaries so that they don't cross it. They don't step all over you. They don't trample you. And I'm coming to terms with that. It's 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and I can't sleep because I've just come to terms with the fact that I have a boundary. I'm usually very open. I'm usually very forgiving. I usually kind of always move on and let bygones be bygones, even if they hurt me, even if the person discarded me, even if they choose someone else. I always let it go and eventually decide for myself it's better to move on and make amends. But today I finally have a boundary that I didn't want crossed, and I didn't even know it was a boundary until it finally happened. And that has to do with family. I think a lot of us, when we get into a long term relationship, this person eventually meets our family. This person eventually meets our loved ones, cousins, sisters, brothers, mom, dad, whatever it may be. And we don't mind it. It's fine. But eventually, when the relationship is over, how does that work? How does that work when that person is still around your family? For me, for the most part, I don't mind it. I don't mind if they're around my family or around my cousins. I don't mind, or if it happened to my parents, I wouldn't mind it. It's fine. But when they start putting their other person, if they start including the other person, the other guy that they're with, the other girl that they're with around your family, that's where a boundary is now being crossed. That's where you'd start to start feel a little bit of ache, and that's what I'm feeling now. I never understood that. I never even had this feeling before, but I've had the feeling where I don't like it. I feel like I hate it, and all I can repeat in my head is I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. I don't want this. I'm okay with this person that I was once, in love with, to be around my family and friends. That's fine. That's totally fine by me. Or if their other extended family, like their sisters or their brothers or their fathers or whatever it may be. But when you start implementing your significant other, I don't know if that's just me, but I don't like it. I feel like there's a boundary that's now been crossed, and now I'm realizing that I need to say something. I need to set those boundaries. I can't just sit here and pretend like I'm okay with it, or get trampled, or stomped all over, because I don't like that. That's not how it works. That's not how it should work. If you have a boundary, say something. And I guess I should take my own advice. Because even then, deep down, part of me is thinking, they're adults, leave it be. But part of me is thinking, well, this is my family and it's sacred to me. Now I'm at a dilemma. Do I leave it alone and move on and try to let bygones be bygones and say, you know what, maybe this is none of my business? Or do I still maintain my family as sacred as I can because they mean the world to me? They mean a lot to me. It's a weird dilemma that I'm at. And it's a dilemma that I'm battling inside myself. Like I said, it's 4 o'clock in the morning and I find this out, and I don't know how to feel. The boundaries that you now have to face after a breakup is over, and you have to implement them. You have to kind of enforce them. Because if not, you'll be walked on, you'll be trampled over. They can just think it's fine because you're not going to say anything, because you're going to take it. They trampled over you once when they discarded you, or if they left you and hurt you. What's to say that they want to do something else? What's to say that they don't mind doing whatever they want because they don't care if it affects you or not? Boundaries need to be set. Boundaries need to be enforced, because there is going to be a time where you'll feel this way. And right now, maybe you don't. Maybe you don't feel this way at all. Maybe you're fine. Maybe you moved on, or maybe you're still healing and maybe you're wanting to move on. But eventually, you'll get to a point where you say to yourself, there is a boundary that I don't want you crossing. And if you cross it, I don't like it. I don't want it. Please respect that. Please honor that. And I guess now for me, I'm realizing it's my family. It's sacred. And I think for a lot of us, it's sacred because we don't mind if the person that is gone or out of our lives that we once loved is still around. I think some of us, and I say this a lot, some of us would be okay with it. It's fine. And some of us wouldn't. Some of us would set that boundary and say, no, that's my family. Please stay away. And that's fine too. But I think it's different when your ex partner or your ex or whoever it is brings their significant other now around your family. That's not right. And I don't think this should even be said, but it is. But maybe that's just me. So, how do you enforce a boundary? Say it. If you guys are breaking up and you're probably thinking to myself, maybe I should say this, maybe there's boundaries I don't want you crossing, say it. Be honest. Be upfront with it. I don't think there's really any kind way to let them down and be like, can you please not do this? Can you please not do that? Because it's a boundary. It's hard. It's a hard rule. It's a hard, strict policy where you have to be like, this is what I don't want you to cross. And maybe I have to be blunt. Maybe I have to be rude. Maybe I have to enforce it as best as I can. And maybe that is being a little bit rude to you, but I have to let you know this is a boundary I don't want you crossing. And I'm now experiencing that for the first time. I've always been open. I've always been welcoming. I've always have forgiven as many people as I can because I'm a big believer of the fact as long as you didn't hurt me physically, I'm okay with that. But I think right now, even as I'm moving on, there's still parts of me that say this is a big no-no. This is a big something that I can't deal with, and I don't want to deal with. So I'm going to enforce a boundary. And maybe this is just one of them. Or maybe I'm just overthinking it because as time goes on, I kind of feel to myself like, it's fine. It's whatever. I'll move on from it. But then again, I'm in my head of no, I don't know. I'm about to go to bed and hopefully see if I can sleep it off. But if not, then maybe that's a big indicator that this is a boundary that I should not let cross. I don't know what to call this type of love that I have now for this person because in a way it's not even love I have. I don't see them romantically anymore. I see them as maybe a friend if possible, but other than that I don't could ever see them as someone I could romantically be in love with at least for a while. And even if I was going to be romantically in love with them, I'd want them to significantly change their behavior, to significantly change their ways or their personality in order to fit what I'm looking for. But in a way, there is boundaries that even for friends have too. You have to set boundaries for your friends. Hey, I don't want you doing this. I don't want you saying this. I don't want you to be around this other person because it'll make me feel uncomfortable. And friends will accept that. Friends will honor that. And I think that goes for family too. And I guess I'm just starting to realize that boundaries are something I don't. I'm new to. I'm new to it completely because I never have had that. I've never set one. I've never been like that. I've always been open and always been honest. But this is the first time ever where I have to say I'm learning something new, and part of me is just trying to grapple with the fact of what to do. But if this is really something you feel as if in your body and you can't sleep, then maybe, just maybe, you should confront it. Whether that be to your family member or whether that be to that person. But one thing's for sure, a boundary is a boundary. Because if they cross it, you'll feel a certain way. And you don't want that. And maybe I should probably take my own advice.